Hi, my name is RJ Centala. I'm from Alpena, Michigan, and this is my 2020 in the bag. We're going to start out with my putting putters. I'm putting with Prime Burst Judges. I recently switched my putter grip to kind of like using the bead here, so I really like the Judges. They're kind of like a wizard, just a little shallower. So then we'll go into my throwing putters. I have quite a few. I have 4 at the moment. Start out with my most overstable. It's probably my favorite disc in my bag, honestly. It's a Great Lakes Open Glow Z Zone. Really like it for forehand approaches. That's what I use it a lot for, or overstable approaches. Next in stability, I have a BT Hard Harp. I use this a lot for backhand approaches that I need something a little bit more stable and something that's going to stick a little bit better than my zone. Next in stability, I do have a Moonshine Judge. This one here I use for straight to slightly overstable drives or approaches as well, like that one. And then last in stability, it's pretty straight, understable as well. It's a Retro Moonshine Pure. I actually have the Alpena DGC Open tournament that I ran up in northern Michigan with a misprint stamp, so I have quite a few of these. I really like them for little approaches under 100 feet and understable approaches. Next we'll go into mid-ranges, start out with overstable as well. I got a VIP Bard, my most overstable mid-range, when I can put on a lot of anhyzer and it'll come out and flex back. Then I have a tournament Bard as well. Kind of similar in flight, a little bit more glide and a little bit more understable than the other Bard. So I like to throw this for a lot of tee shots. Then I have a VIP Warship, very straight with a very slight finish at the end. Could throw this with a little bit of turn and it holds it a lot and then kind of flattens out at the end, or throw it with hyzer and it holds the hyzer the whole way. And this is my favorite mid-range. It is a tournament plastic Warship. This one I can throw with a little bit of hyzer. It'll pop up flat and ride, throw it flat and it kind of tails a little bit, or with my anhyzer shots it kind of tails quite a bit as well. Next we're going into fairway drivers. Start out with my most overstable, my 2 Atis. This is a VIP. This is actually Jared Stoll's 2020 fundraiser disc, so shout out to Jared for making a very good tournament or fundraiser disc. So this one is my most overstable. I throw it a lot for forehands or spike backhands. Then I have a tournament plastic Ati as well that the stamp was wiped off. Pretty much kind of similar to that, but it has a lot more glide and will hold a little bit more of a line for my forehand and backhands. And then a very overstable one that I just kind of started screwing around with is a VIP X Chameleon Fortress. This is from Nico Lacastro's team series. Very overstable, doesn't have a lot of glide, so it's one of those where I can throw it on hyzer and really just play like lawn darts with it. Next in stability is a Opto X Explorer. This is probably my main fairway driver right now. It's one I can throw really hard and it's going to ride real straight and then have a nice finish. Kind of like a T-Bird, just a little bit more overstable, I'd say. Or a lot of hyzer bombs. Anything kind of like 350 and in, I feel pretty comfortable throwing that. Then I have a old VIP Felon. This one I throw for forehands a lot. It's definitely the forehand disc that actually, when I pop it up with hyzer, it actually kind of rides left and then finishes back right. Or when I throw it backhand, really straight, maybe a little bit of turn and then finishes. Next we'll get into my Convicts. I have a Lucid X Convict. This one here is probably like my straightest flyer, I'd say. I throw it with hyzer, it kind of pops up flat, maybe a little bit of turn and then a nice hook up at the end. Very straight fairway driver. Next is another one from my boy Austin Hawks. Lucid Convict as well. This one's definitely more understable than that one, so I throw it with hyzer, flips up, turns a little bit and then comes back, or I can throw it for some nice panning turnover shots. And my last fairway driver I carry is a Lucid X Maverick. It's a little bit older. This one definitely is either for rollers, if I very rarely throw them, or some hyzer flips to turn. So and next we'll get into my distance drivers. We'll start off with my non-nuke ones. I guess I have a Nuke OS. This one I throw pretty much just for forehands, or if it's into a headwind, I'll throw it for my backhands. And it hooks up really fast for both backhand and forehand, very overstable, ESP plastic. Next I do have a Ballista Pro. I recently just put this into my bag. It's definitely a little bit more overstable than my Nukes. Goes pretty far. I could rip it really hard and it's going to ride straight, maybe a little bit of turn and then come back. Next, we got my Nukes. I have a first run Z Nuke. This is definitely my main distance driver, I'd say. It's very good into headwinds, tailwinds, crosswinds, everything. If I need a disc that I just want to rely on for a shot, this is definitely this one. Flies exactly like the numbers say. Touch over and then hyzers back. This is a first run ESB. This one's a little bit newer in the bag, so it's a little bit more overstable. Goes a little bit farther than the Z one. Throw it with hyzer and it's going to flip up, just kind of carry, or if I throw it flat, it'll kind of touch over a little bit and then finish back. This is definitely my farthest flying one. This is an early run ESB. It's not a first run, but definitely a hyzer flip to turn, or just throw it flat hard and it rides over and then finishes back a little bit. So that's definitely my main distance getter. And then this is the first run that I put in my bag. Actually, I put in these actually break in quite quickly, so I put it in the beginning of the year. This one's definitely, I can get it down on rollers, or if I throw it with a lot of hyzer, it'll flip up to flat, or just throw it nice and flat and it turns a lot. This one probably goes not quite as far as that one, but still goes pretty far. And I think that's all the discs I have in here. I do have a touch. Shout out to Andy and Reed for not making them, but getting the touches. Those are really nice. My putter pouch up here. I carry a mitten bag, one of the cookie ones from Andy as well. And got my mini up here in this pouch and a phone. So yeah, I really like the Zuka cart. So thanks for watching.